Hello and thanks for joining us once again on Punters Inside Run. Mick Sharkie is back from holidays, back working, doing everything he does. Shark, how are you, mate? Good to see you.
I'm very good, Matty. How are you? It's very much on the road edition this week, isn't it? You're out and about. I'm up here on the farm. I don't know if you can see the horses behind me. I was just down having a look at a couple of spring hopefuls before. Visionari in pre-training up here at Leneva Park, looking very good.
Yeah, I've been out and about myself today, so let's get stuck into it. Racing at the Valley and also racing at Rosehill. And the main race at Rosehill is the Rosebud. It's an interesting race. I didn't see this as a race I was really keen to bet into. Tis Invincible is the market favourite. How did you read the race?
Look, Tis Invincible, the instructor, they're your, I guess, exposed speed horses. You know, your main two. Cigar Flick's come back in winning form, so you know he's going well. I'm a bit like you. At first glance of the field, it wasn't a race that I really wanted to charge into. But I looked at the bet markets, and I'm flipping things around this week, Matty. I reckon the best value bet of the day is in this race. Number 3, Fire Lane. $21 about Fire Lane. Now, this horse beat Platinum Jubilee, Empire of Japan, showed a really good turn of foot in doing it back during the 2-year-old season. Was brave in races like the Magic Million Classic and also the Silver Slipper. Cylinder comes through the Silver Slipper. There's some bloody good form around this horse. Trials are okay. I just thought $21 was too big a price for a horse that had some really strong 2-year-old form lines. I'm making it the best value play.
All right. What do you like as your best in Sydney on the weekend?
The best in Sydney, I think, is race 5, number 2, Extremely Lucky. Really sharp sprinter. We know that this horse has been switched in stables up to Chris Waller. The form last preparation was really big. 2 huge come from behind wins by wide margins in Adelaide. Went to the race to Norman Carline at Moonee Valley on a heavy track, and that probably brought it unstuck. It wasn't beaten far less than a length from Bella Nipotina. A couple of jump outs or trials in Sydney have been very good, steaming up late. It's got a useful horse in Alencia to beat in this race, but I think that's why we're getting a price around that $2.40 mark. I think that's a fair play for Extremely Lucky. It's my best.
Yes, my best comes up in race 9, Pericles. I know 1,400 probably isn't the ideal distance, but I think it has run well over that distance. Fresh, in fact, was placed in a Group 2 over the 1,400. Yes, got bigger and longer races in mind down the track, but I think Pericles is a classy horse with a big preparation ahead and is a potential Group 1 horse. Yeah,
I think it's a good point. That's that. This week, next week, the week after, we start to see more of those horses filter back. And maybe Pericles, they tried him out over a trip. Maybe he comes back and he's a really effective 2,000 metre horse.
2,000, yeah.
I think that's where he probably fits, yeah.
I'm treating Pericles a little bit like I treated Golden Mile last week, but let's not talk about what happened in that race. I've forgotten about it already.
Yeah, it was a tough watch, wasn't it? Obviously, big parade breaking down, sadly, and Golden Mile just looked to be tagging up into the race with something to give. So we'll have to wait for him next time.
Anything else in Sydney?
Banana Queen, I think we need to have another look at race 9, number 15. Started a short price favourite first up. Looked like it was trucking into the race, like it was going to do something. Just ran into it a bit. Just busted out for fitness that last 150, 200. Second up record is very good. Tumbles down the handicap here. I think that's a big factor. It is a stronger race, as we've already mentioned, but I just thought $9 each way. If you're on at the shorts last time, you've got to butter up each way at least with Banana Queen.
All right, Banana Queen also for Shark is one of his best in Sydney. We moved to the Valley. Now, we were here a fortnight ago, Shark, and we know that it was a bit of a farce. It was a travelator on the inside lane. The rail goes back to the true. Normally, you'd say that would be the best time to race at Valley if you want to come from the back. I'm hoping maybe that with a couple of my tips that they've overcompensated a little bit, and at least we can see horses run on.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if horses, if the track raced more evenly. And the Valley has, to a large degree, the last 18 months played really well.
Yeah.
And not so much of that, inside lead or sweepers bias that we've seen in previous seasons. I've got an inkling that inside section just might, with the camber of the track at this time of year, just might hold a little bit more water. Wouldn't be surprised. Not saying leaders can't win, but wouldn't be surprised if they just got away from that inside section a little bit.
All right, mate. What's your best at the Valley?
Going with one at a little bit of value, I guess, as far as the best bet is concerned. Race 3, number 6, Picture None. Really good form, this mare. Just last time, the leader just got them all off the bit as they turned in. It was a bit of a sit-up and sprint home race. She was right there with them, sort of behind that first 4 on settling. Started to loom into the race, but the couple that were in front of her had a really good swing against her at the weights. I just don't think the way the race was run suited her when giving weight away to those couple of horses that dominated the speed. $5.50, I think we can take the risk that, she's still got another good run in her this prep.
All right, Picture None, the best for Shark on. I'm going with one that I really do hope that you can come from behind, because Aspen, Colorado for Lindsay Smith does get back and is drawn wide, and we know gets back. But I think dropping back from benchmark 78 to benchmark 70, it ticks a lot of boxes for me. It likes racing at the Valley. Its form, it comes out of a good form race. So I'm hoping that, we don't get too much rain. It's at worst a soft 5. So Aspen, Colorado in race 4 is my best at the Valley. What about something of value, Shark?
I think there's a couple. Race 7 is a pretty small field. There's a really interesting horse here, number 6, Sissoko. European import, hasn't raced since 2021. With this ownership, I wouldn't be surprised if it went to Hong Kong and maybe just didn't settle in there. Anyway, it's in Australia now. It's had a couple of trials since, leading into this race, since we've seen it last in the UK, when it was running second to Luxembourg in a Group 1. Bayside Boy was also a Group 1 horse. He was third in that race, so the form is huge. I'm not saying this horse is going to bolt into Australia as a Group 1 horse, but certainly an off-season benchmark 100 handicap he should measure up to. Again, he's $5.50. It's not a really short price to find out, so I thought Sissoko was worth a look in race 7. There's another one in race 9, Acro Mantula, which, of course, Matty,
yes, the Perth horse.
The giant spider from Harry Potter, apparently. The only movie I walked out of in my life, Harry Potter. I just didn't
work for you?
No. And I'm not sure if the giant spider named after the movie will work for me on the weekend. But great first up form around Red Can Man, form around Amelia's Jewel. It's very, very appealing form for an off-season 1,000-metre handicap. And again, $8.50. Surely that's an each-way bet.
All right, I'll also be backing Matthew for Paddy Payne getting up to the 2,500 metres. I thought it was a good win at Sale. Even though they spelled it incorrectly with the 1T, I'll be backing Matthew as well. You're a wizard, Shark. Thank you for your tips as always, and happy punting.
Good on you, Matty. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Talk to you next week, and punters, enjoy the weekend's racing. Hopefully you can find a winner, and hopefully the Valley plays a little bit truer and everyone has a chance of winning, including yourselves. See you next time.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.